Welcome to English Anyway, where we learn English, no pressure, no perfection.
We are so glad you're here with us today.
Yeah, we really are. So picture the situation. You are standing in the elevator at your office. The doors close.
Oh, I know this feeling.
Right. You look up and your boss is standing right next to you.
And the silence is just very loud.
It feels so heavy. You have 30 seconds to say something, but your mind is just completely empty. You look at the floor, you look at the door, you feel terrible.
Yeah, we have all been in that situation. We really have.
Exactly. It is a very uncomfortable feeling.
But, it does not have to be that way.
No, it doesn't. And that is why today we are taking a deep dive into the art of small talk.
Yes, small talk, just light, easy conversation.
Right. Our mission today is simple. We want to help you sound natural and comfortable at work.
You really do not need perfect grammar for this.
No, not at all. You do not need to share deep, complex thoughts. You just need to know how to connect with people.
And just to be clear, today's deep dive is designed especially for pre-intermediate learners.
Yeah, so if you are learning basic English, this is perfect for you.
We will use simple words and clear sentences. We are keeping our speaking normal, steady, and relaxed.
But before we really start, I want to remind you to practice with us. When you hear a useful phrase today, try to say it out loud. Speaking it out is making it yours. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Making mistakes is just a normal part of the learning journey.
Yeah, saying the words in your room or, in your car, it really helps your brain remember them.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's move into the rules of small talk.
Right, because before we look at our real examples, we need to understand what small talk actually is.
And more importantly, why we use it.
Exactly. So, what makes small talk different from a regular conversation?
Well, that is the perfect place to start. Small talk is not a deep conversation.
Right.
A regular conversation might be about your personal life. It might be about big family problems, strong feelings, or deep political ideas.
Which you probably don't want to talk about at work.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Small talk is completely different. It is short. It is light. It is just a way to build a friendly relationship with the people around you.
But why do we do it? If we don't share real information, what is the point?
That is a very good question.
Because sometimes it just feels like a waste of time.
It is definitely not a waste of time.
Yeah.
Here is where it gets really interesting. Think about human behavior.
Okay.
Small talk is not really about sharing facts. It is about creating safety. When you say good morning and talk about the weather, you are sending a secret message. You are basically saying, I am friendly, I am safe, I am part of your team.
Oh, I love that. You are showing them that you are a friend, not a threat.
Exactly.
You are creating a safe space before the hard work begins.
It happens in specific moments, like in the few minutes before a big meeting begins.
Right. Or during your coffee break.
Or when you first see someone in the morning. It is a quick moment to show you are a safe, polite person.
Okay, so I understand the why now, but how do we do it? I always feel like I'm asking too many questions.
Yeah.
I feel like a police officer asking too many hard questions. Is there a simple way to do it correctly?
Yes, there is. Think of small talk like a game of ping pong.
Ping pong, okay.
You do not want to hit the ball too hard. You just want to tap it lightly over the net. There's a very simple pattern you can follow.
I like simple patterns. What is it?
First, you start with a question. Second, you give a short answer. And third, you ask something back.
Oh, okay.
That is the whole pattern. Question, short answer, ask back.
Okay, question, short answer, ask back. But I have to push back on the answer part.
Why is that?
When someone asks me a question, I feel like I need to tell them everything. Do we need to share a lot of information?
No, absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah, this is a very common mistake for language learners. They think they need to tell a long, detailed story.
Oh, I see.
But remember the ping pong game. A long story is like holding the ball and never hitting it back. Simple responses are much better. You just give one or two short details.
Well, that makes it much less stressful. I don't need to prepare a long speech.
Exactly.
So if we keep it simple, what should we talk about? What are safe topics for the office?
Safe topics are things that everyone experiences. You want topics where no one will get angry.
Like the weekend.
Yes, the weekend is a great topic.
Yeah.
Everyone has a weekend. Work tasks are also safe because you work in the same building.
And what about the weather?
The weather is a classic safe topic
But why is the weather so popular?
because we all share the exact same sky. It is something we all experience together, but nobody has strong, angry feelings about a cloudy day.
Yeah, that is very true.
It is perfectly safe.
That makes complete sense. Now that the rules are clear, let's show how this works in real life.
Sounds good.
We are going to perform our first role play. This is conversation one. Let's set the scene. Imagine it is Monday morning.
Okay, Monday morning.
You are walking into the office. You are putting your bag on your desk. Your coworker is right next to you.
Listen for the ping pong pattern. Question, short answer, ask back.
Hey, morning.
Hey, morning.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good, actually. Just stayed home and relaxed. How about you?
Not bad. I went out with some friends.
Oh, nice. Where'd you go?
Just a small restaurant nearby, nothing special.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was nice.
Hey, I should get back to work.
Yeah, same here. Talk later.
Okay. That is the end of the first conversation. Now, we will look at it piece by piece and explain how it works.
Let's break it down. We started with the opening. I asked a very common starting question. I said, "How was your weekend?"
And my response followed our rule perfectly. I gave a short answer. I said, pretty good, actually. Just stayed home and relaxed. Notice what I did not say. I did not give a long list. I did not say, first I cleaned my kitchen, then I washed my car, then I went to the supermarket.
No, that would be too much.
I just gave the basic feeling. I stayed home. I relaxed.
Then you followed the next part of the pattern. You hit the ping pong ball back to me. You asked, "How about you?"
Yes. How about you is the easiest way to keep the conversation going. It passes the turn back to the other person. You could use it in almost any situation.
It is very useful. Then we moved to the middle of the chat. You asked about my weekend. My answer was, not bad. I went out with some friends.
Let's talk about the phrase, not bad. I hear this all the time.
Yeah, not bad is a very important phrase in English. It literally means not bad, but we use it to mean okay or good.
So you said you went out with friends. I wanted to know a little more, so I asked one simple question. I asked, where did you go?
Yes, just one detail. And my answer was perfect for this deep dive. I said, just a small restaurant nearby, nothing special.
I want to focus on nothing special. It feels almost rude to say your own dinner was nothing special. Why do we use this phrase?
It is not rude at all, actually.
Yeah.
Nothing special is a very helpful tool. It tells the other person that there is no big story to tell.
Oh, I get it.
It gently closes that topic. It basically says, we had a nice time, but I don't need to explain the whole menu to you. It keeps the chat light.
I see. It shows you are ready to stop talking about yourself.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the short reactions. In this chat, I use the phrases, oh, nice, and sounds good.
I have a question about this. It feels strange to just say, nice. Is that really enough? Shouldn't I say full sentences?
No, full sentences are not necessary here. These short words are very important. Think of them as verbal nodding.
Verbal nodding.
Yes. When you listen to someone, you nod your head to show you hear them. Saying, oh, nice, or sounds good, is the exact same thing. You are nodding with your words.
That is a great way to think about it. If you do not say these short words, the silence feels strange. The other person might feel like you are ignoring them.
Exactly. They show you are actively listening. Finally, we need to end the conversation naturally.
Oh, ending a talk can feel very difficult.
It really can. People often feel awkward when they want to walk away, but it is easy with practice. I said, all right, I should get back to work.
I really like that phrase. It gives a very good, clear reason to leave. You are not leaving because you are bored.
No.
You are leaving because you have to work. You are blaming your job.
Yes, blaming the work is always a safe exit.
Yeah.
And you agreed with me. You said, yeah, same here. Talk later.
Same here is a great matching phrase. It means I feel the exact same way. I also have a lot of work.
You're sharing the same experience.
And talk later is just a friendly, relaxed way to say goodbye.
Those morning chats are usually quite easy. You just arrived at the office. You were fresh.
Yeah.
But what happens when you were in the middle of a busy workday?
That is the real test. Let's move to our next scenario. This is a light chat during work. Let's set the scene again.
Okay.
It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You are walking down the hallway. You are carrying some papers. You meet your coworker near the coffee machine. You are both busy. You are both a little tired.
We will perform the second conversation now. Listen to how we handle a busy, middle-of-the-day encounter. I will start this time.
Sounds good.
Hey, how's your day going?
Kind of busy, to be honest.
Yeah, same. I've got a lot to finish today.
Tell me about it.
Are you working on the new project?
Yeah, still trying to figure it
Oh,
out.
really? How is it so far?
It's okay, just a bit confusing.
Got it. Let me know if you need help.
Thanks, I might.
All right, I'll let you get back to it.
Thanks.
Okay, let's break this one down. This one has some very important lessons.
I started with a different opening question. Well, you started actually. You didn't ask about the weekend. You asked, how is your day going?
Right. This is the perfect question for the middle of a day. You can use it any time in the afternoon. And your natural response was, Kind of busy, to be honest.
Saying kind of busy is a very safe, normal answer at work. Why is that?
Because almost everyone is busy at work. When you say you are busy, you are sharing a struggle. It makes you feel like a team. You are both working hard.
Now we need to stop and look at a key vocabulary phrase. This is probably the most important part of today's lesson.
Oh, definitely.
In the chat, you said you had a lot of work to finish today. My answer was, tell me about it. Let me
Yes.
push back on this. If someone says, tell me about it, I should start telling them a story, right? Do you want a list of all my tasks?
No, please do not give a list. This is a core concept that many learners completely misunderstand.
So what does it mean?
Tell me about it. Does not mean I want to hear facts. It is not a request for details.
But the words literally mean, speak to me about this thing. It is very confusing.
I know it is confusing, but in spoken English, tell me about it is a set phrase. It simply means, I agree with you completely.
Oh, wow.
Or it means, I feel the exact same way. You are saying that you already know how bad the situation is.
Let me make sure I understand. If I look at the office printer and it is broken again, and I say, ugh, this printer is so slow today. If your computer is also slow, can you say, tell me about it?
Yes, exactly. If you say the traffic was terrible this morning and I also sat in terrible traffic, I will say, tell me about it. I am saying you don't even need to tell me because I already know.
That is fascinating. It shows we share the exact same problem. So, listeners, please remember this phrase. Do not start telling a long, detailed story if someone says this to you. Just smile and nod.
Let's continue with the chat. After that, we talked about work tasks. I asked if you were working on the new project. You said you were still trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure it out. That is a great phrase.
To figure it out means you're trying to understand something new. It means you don't have all the answers yet.
Right.
It is a very normal, safe thing to say when you have a new task at work. It is honest, but not too negative.
You asked how the project was going. I gave a short answer. I said, it's okay, just a bit confusing.
Notice how light this is. You are having a problem with your work.
Yeah.
It is confusing. But you do not complain for 10 minutes.
No, I don't get angry.
You just say it is a bit confusing. This keeps the conversation polite and safe.
Then we have to end nicely. We're both busy, standing by the coffee machine. We need to go back to our desks. Before leaving, you offered some help. You said, let me know if you need help.
Offering help is a wonderful way to build a strong working relationship. Even if you don't really have time to help, just saying the words is very kind. It shows you support your team.
Then you used a final polite exit phrase. You didn't blame your own work this time. You said, all right, I'll let you get back to it.
This is a beautiful, professional way to say goodbye. You are not talking about yourself. You are telling the other person that you respect their time.
Right, because you know they are busy.
You are basically saying, I will stop talking now so you can finish your important work.
It sounds so much better than just walking away or saying, okay, bye. It feels very respectful.
Yes, it is professional, friendly, and very natural.
We have covered a lot of ground today. We talked about morning arrivals and hallway meetings.
We did.
To make sure you remember everything from today's deep dive, we are going to gather all the most useful expressions right now. We are going to put them into one simple toolkit for you.
This is your small talk toolkit. We will review the starting phrases, the simple responses, the short reactions, and the closing phrases.
Let's begin with the starting phrases. When you want to start a small talk conversation or serve the ping pong ball, use these questions. How was your weekend?
How's your day going?
Or, are you busy today?
When someone asks you these questions, you need to hit the ball back naturally. You can say, pretty good.
You can say, not bad.
If you have a lot of work, say, kind of busy.
Or if your day is just completely normal, you can say, just the usual.
During the conversation, while the other person is talking, you must show you are listening. We do this with our short reactions. We nod with our words.
Remember to use phrases like, oh, really?
Or just simply, nice.
You can say, that sounds good.
If you feel the exact same way, you say, yeah, same here.
And if they complain about being busy, you can use our favorite phrase. Tell me about it. Finally, we have the closing phrases. These help you leave the conversation smoothly without feeling awkward.
You can blame your work and say, I should get back to work.
You can respect their time and use our polite exit. I'll let you get back to it.
Or keep it super simple with, talk later.
Now, listener, it is your turn. I want you to practice right where you are. We are going to pause for a few seconds so you can speak. Please choose one starting phrase from your memory. Say it out loud right now.
Just try it.
Okay, go ahead.
Excellent. Now choose one short reaction. Pretend I just told you had a nice weekend. Say your reaction out loud.
Yeah, pick your favorite one.
Perfect. Nodding with words.
Now, choose
Yeah,
one ending phrase. Pretend you need to walk away. Say it out loud.
you can do it.
Great job. Speaking it out really does make it yours. Your brain will remember the physical feeling of saying those words.
Let's do a final summary of today's lesson.
Small talk is just a polite pattern. It is not about exchanging deep facts.
No, it is about creating safety and showing you are a friendly team member. You start with a simple question. You give a short, simple answer. You use short reactions to show you were listening.
And you end naturally when it is time to go back to work. It does not need to be perfect. You just need to be friendly.
You have the tools now to sound natural and comfortable. Next time you're at work, try using just one of these phrases. Notice how a small, friendly question can completely change the feeling in the whole room.
It really does. Small talk makes the workday better for everyone.
It really can.
Now, I want to leave you with one final thought to think about. The person who seems the most confident at small talk is usually not the person who talks the most.
Oh, that's so true.
The most confident person is usually just the person who has mastered the art of listening. They are the ones asking the easy questions and saying, sounds good. So tomorrow, when you go to work, are you going to worry about being the talker, or are you going to practice being the master listener?
That is a wonderful way to look at it.
Before we finish today, we have a fun question for you. What is your favorite topic for small talk at work? Do you talk about the weather? Do you ask about the weekend?
Or do you talk about the coffee in the break room?
Tell us in the comments. We'd love to read them.
Yes, please share your thoughts. We look forward to seeing your answers.
Keep learning English any way you want, and I'll catch you in the next one.